Well, if there's anything that we might need to help to keep track of, it is recycling. You know, so much of what we have now generally should not be just thrown in the trash. And so from time to time, there are events that attempt to help us deal with that. One of them is this coming Saturday, April 1st in Calhoun County. It's called Recyclorama. And it is a function of the Calhoun County Community Development Department, where Sarah Kelly has been busy helping to organize that. And she's here today to talk to us a little bit about that. Hi, Sarah.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate that very much. So Recyclorama is an event that helps us deal with some of the things we just can't even throw in the trash, but can't also put necessarily in recycling bins, right?
Yes.
So talk a little bit about what we can bring to this on Saturday.
All right. Well, we're asking people to bring their clean number 6 styrofoam. So that would be like your coffee cups, meat trays, and then egg cartons, and then also some of the packaging styrofoam. Say if you got like a new coffee maker or television.
Yeah.
Generally, we can take that material too.
Okay. Boy, that is something that didn't used to be recyclable, the styrofoam. So, but we want to look at it, right? It's going to have a symbol on it?
It should have a number 6. Now, sometimes you're going to find like the meat trays generally don't.
Okay.
But we do take those.
Okay. Styrofoam.
Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
We are working with the Lions Club and taking eyeglasses. So we generally collect over 200 pairs at this event. So that is incredible that we can go help people in other places that are not so fortunate for being able to get eyeglasses regularly.
Tip of the hat to the Lions Club. They've been working that for a long time, but an event like this helps to make that connection. And, you know, that's one of those things that you get new glasses, you have the old ones. What are you supposed to do with those? They sit around in drawers and wait for us to figure out what to do with them.
Yes.
So we can bring them to Recyclorama. And by the way, we'll talk where and when coming up in just a bit, so you can be prepared. What else can we bring? Appliances, really?
Yes, we do take appliances, and we will also have someone there that we're paying to remove the Freon from all your dehumidifiers and air conditioners and refrigerators and freezers. So that's something a lot of people have those. They die. They don't know how to get rid of the Freon. You can't get rid of them if they have the Freon in them. So this is your chance. This is our appliance collection for the year.
Okay. We've heard a lot about Freon in the last 24 hours and how we shouldn't be exposed to it in that way. So it's nice to have that service. So appliances, metal and steel, you can bring an old refrigerator if you want to, and you'll take it.
Yes, we will.
All right. Here's the big category, electronics, and we'll talk about what that means. We're not going to run down the whole list, but there's a lot of this that we have laying around in our houses and businesses too, where we just know we can't throw these out. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment after this short break on 95.3 WBCK. Recyclorama coming up on Saturday. We're talking about Recyclorama this half hour. It's an event, a recycling event where you can take some things that are ready for recycling from your home if you're in Calhoun County. And Sarah Kelly is here from the Calhoun County Community Development Department to talk a little bit about that. Boy, you've thought of almost everything. This is a tremendous list of things we can bring. We talked about the styrofoam number 6, eyeglasses, appliances even, metal and steel, and they'll even remove the Freon for you. Boy, electronics, this is the biggest category, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We have all sorts of things that are under the heading electronics, and we don't know what to do with these things, like DVD players and VCRs. Does anybody have a working VCR still? If you don't, or you have it just laying around and you want to get rid of it, here's a way to do it. Car batteries, old cell phones, MP3 players, satellite dishes. Do people really walk in with those things?
Oh, they do.
Take them right off their roof or wherever they've been.
They switch vendor and
they're left with it. Yeah, that's interesting. I have one in my yard from the previous owner of the home. I don't use it, and it's anchored in the ground. And somebody said to me, "Are you going to get rid of that?" I don't know. I didn't know where to take it. Here's where you could take it. That's excellent. Computers. This is a big thing now, right? Folks are going to show up with computers. How do you handle that?
Well, our vendor will do one of two things. He can actually shred the hard drives, or he does a government level wipe of the system. So you don't have to worry about anything confidential getting spread.
So if you show up with the computer, he's going to open it up and take that thing out right away?
When he gets back to his business. It's a Michigan-based company.
Yeah.
They're over in like the Benton Harbor, St. Joe area.
Okay. Yes, that's a big concern, obviously. If you've used your computer and you've done your banking on it and tax forms on it and things like that, there could be sensitive information there that in the wrong hands could be a problem. So the notion is, we've been told we need to destroy those things. You'll do that for them. Remote controls, oh, for heaven's sake. Cameras, that old typewriter. You'll even take a typewriter. This is a huge deal. Hair dryers, power tools, laptops, PDAs, copiers, heaters. These are all considered electronics that we shouldn't throw away.
Yes, they have valuable metal inside of them that can be reused and made into something new. So pretty much anything with a cord or battery, they will take. You know, this includes your old Christmas lights. You know, get them out of your attic, your garage, take them in, and we'll recycle them. Boy,
you say these things and my mind starts going, do I have those? Start thinking about that. This is a huge deal. So how do you coordinate this? I mean, this is, as you say, you've got to bring in some professionals to help you with this. This is a big situation to coordinate.
This is our 6th event. So we have kind of a plan that we follow. We have a lot of returning vendors. We just start working on booking the location. Bailey Park works very well for us, and we just pretty much, like the week after we have the event, start planning the next year's event. Okay.
Here's some other things that might fall into this category that are recyclable, and maybe you didn't realize you could bring these things. Household hazardous waste things. What are some of the things we can bring under that category?
Automotive liquids. We also take cleaners, aerosol cans, oil-based paint and stain. And we also will have the Substance Abuse Council at this event helping take medications and sharps. So if anybody's diabetic or have to use injectable medication, we just ask that you put those in like a laundry detergent bottle, something that the needles can't puncture out of, and take that into the collection.
Okay. That's another thing. You know, in the old days, you would take expired medications and throw them out or put them down the toilet, that sort of thing. Shouldn't do that anymore.
Oh, no, definitely not. They're finding, traces of medication in our drinking water now. From, you flush it down the toilet, but your water goes either into your septic system and then into groundwater, or it goes through the water treatment plant. They can't take the medications out of the water, so it just all gets out into the environment. So we need to stop putting medications down the toilet.
So if you have old meds, this is a way to get rid of them. And as you pointed out, old needles and things, and something that they won't puncture through, and bring them to this. When we come back in a minute, we'll talk a little bit about where and when this will be. This is free, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit about how they coordinate all this. And by the way, Marshall has a recycling center all year long, and we'll talk a little bit about what they accept, too, coming up on 95.3 WBCK. We're here with Sarah Kelly from the Calhoun County Community Development Department. They have coordinated Recyclorama on Saturday, 9 to 1 at Bailey Park, and that's Capitol Avenue Northeast, of course, 1392 to be exact, in Battle Creek. It's preferred that you're a Calhoun County resident, right, to attend this and bring your recyclables.
Yes, it is. It's paid for with money that's generated from a host agreement that Calhoun County has with the CNC landfill, which is in Convis Township.
Right. All right. So how do you coordinate all this? Here we're talking about styrofoam and eyeglasses and appliances and electronics, and people are going to be lined up with all of this stuff. This is a massive coordination.
It is. We rely upon volunteers and then some other county staff. So we have the Environmental Health Department has some sanitarians that will be helping with the event. We have a few people from the road department, a few people from our facilities, and then also we're working with the city of Battle Creek and partnering, and they're going to help us with like a forklift driver. And we use volunteers from the county CERT and SAR search and rescue teams to help direct traffic.
Boy, and we imagine there will be traffic. Folks should be prepared for that, I imagine.
Yes, generally there's a line that forms an hour before we open.
Right.
So, I recommend showing up probably after 10 if you don't want to risk having to be in a line. There's usually a line at the beginning of the event. Yeah,
folks are there ready to take care of it in the beginning, and then it tapers off.
It generally does.
Okay.
But we have seen up to 2,300 cars pass through the event.
2,300.
Yes.
Boy, this just addresses the need for this kind of an event.
Mm-hmm.
Until they figure out how we can take our computers and throw them into the recycling bin in our curbs, this is the way it has to be, right?
Yeah, it's very specialized. A lot of these things require, special processing to recycle them, and they just can't be picked up by your curbside recycle hauler.
Be pretty heavy to be able to do that. Having said that, the curbside recycling programs have changed a lot.
Yes.
And by that I mean for the better, haven't they?
Oh, they definitely have. The governor recognizes that curbside recycling is the most convenient and easy for people to do, and so that's really what's being promoted across the state. So more and more communities are switching over to that option and even having single hauler contracts like the city of Battle Creek does.
Mm-hmm. I remember when all of this started, my grandmother was sitting there soaking jars to get the labels off. You had to take the labels off your glass jars. Now, boom, you can just throw all that in there, and all that sorting goes on the other end.
Yes, yeah. Through different processing, they're able to get the labels off, and they do different machines and air and different magnets to get everything all separated out.
That is very cool, and that takes a lot of work off our shoulders, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Now, having said that, you don't have to wait necessarily for events like this here in Calhoun County to get rid of some of this stuff. There is a recycling center.
Yes. Calhoun County, we have 2 staffed recycling centers, one in Albion and one in Marshall, that are open year-round. They each are open 3 days a week.
Okay.
And we do take styrofoam and household batteries at those year-round, so that's a nice service that people don't have to hold on to those until we have special collections.
Right. Okay. So 3 days a week is when you can bring those to one of those 2 recycling centers. Again, one's in Marshall, one's in Albion. All of this is on your website, I presume.
Yes, our website. And we post a lot on our Facebook, too.
Okay. That's the community development page?
Or the Calhoun County Recycling.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
We have our own website and Facebook page.
Okay, great. Calhoun County Recycling is what you'll want to put in the search box on Facebook or in Google and see that. Is it fair to say that what your recycling centers accept is a similar list to what you'll see at Recyclorama that's accepted?
No, because our recycle center is basically going to take cardboard and paper and your plastics. And they do take the styrofoam and the batteries, but that's pretty much the only carryover item.
Okay.
We're looking at food containers, cleaning product, beauty product containers are the main items that we take at the recycle center.
So this is still quite the event at Recyclorama because it expands to things like electronics and household appliances.
Yeah, a lot of these items are things that we only have a collection maybe once or twice a year for most of the things that we take at Recyclorama.
Well, and hopefully most of us don't have a pile of refrigerators waiting for this event, Well,
we're ready. We're ready. We have a big roll-off and a forklift and people to help unload. So.
Okay. That's Saturday, the 1st of April, Recyclorama, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Bailey Park. Use the Wagner Drive entrance. All right, that's an important thing.
The City of Battle Creek Police want people to approach the event on westbound Emmett Street, and they're going to have road barrels up, so you can only turn in from westbound Emmett Street. Okay,
so traffic control is important. And again, search for Recyclorama online and on Facebook so that you're able to see what you can bring and, again, when if you need to. Sarah, this is a great service, so thank you for telling us about it.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. We want to have a good turnout and make sure everybody can, recycle and properly dispose of their items.
All right, so it's this Saturday. Get to work. Get your stuff together right now so you're ready on Saturday. Thank you.
You're welcome.